Jeff King. I'm Andy Erickson. This is not another shooting show. We go to Waldorf, Maryland, where a medevac helicopter was called to a Waldorf neighborhood Saturday afternoon for a 50-year-old man accidentally shot himself in the wrist. An emergency airlift was prompted to a trauma center. The incident happened around 2:45 on April 25th. That was Saturday. I already said that. Emergency dispatch has indicated the injury was self-inflicted with a tourniquet applied to control bleeding. Deputies with the Charles County Sheriff's Office arrived on the scene, confirmed the patient's condition. He was flown to the trauma center for treatment. Additional details, including the circumstances surrounding the shooting and the man's condition, have not been released. Well, I'm going with cleaning gun.
I mean, I'm going with lap picture and shot himself in his artery in his wrist.
Yeah. I mean, it seems funny, like, oh, I got shot in the wrist, but, like, there's pretty good-sized blood vessels there. Like, it'll still bleed a lot.
Yeah, that's why you don't cross. If you're serious, you don't cross the street. You go down the river. You don't understand that reference. Never mind. Just move on from it.
Okay. I am really starting to resent you. Okay, you're a lot younger than me, but like slightly younger fuckers like Steven saying, what is that in reference to? Like in the group chat the other day, what I knew that was from Super Troopers, or not Super Troopers, but Starship Troopers.
Yes.
Super Troopers is a very different movie.
Just slightly. But, both have fascist vibes,
Well, I suppose. Meow. But
meow.
I'm kind of starting to resent the fact that, well, I don't resent it. I'm just, I do resent it when it's Steven. But
only Steven.
I'm starting to realize, like, I'm actually getting that old. Like, I don't get pop culture references. I don't work in pop culture anymore either. When I was working at a top 40 radio station, I was able to kind of stay up with the kids, Now it's over. All I know is that this podcast is aura.
I guess. I don't know. Working around young people has made me feel old as shit because they make references or I'll make a reference and they're like, I wasn't born when that happened. I'm like, I get to hit you. And it pisses me off. Or they make they make references. I'm like, I don't. Is that positive, negative? Like, what's the context?
Aura is good. It's a good thing. Like, my son played Cliff Burton's Anesthesia Pulling Teeth from Metallica's Kill 'Em All album at his middle school variety show, and I posted a video of it. Some people listening to this probably saw it. It was really good. Like, he fucking killed it. And a friend of his sent him a message. He's like, hey, Dad, look. And it's like, that was aura. And I've heard my daughter say that was aura. It was aura.
It's just grammatically incorrect, and I hate it.
Oh, I know.
And now I need to, yell at the clouds. Hey! Get off my lawn.
Yeah. You're going to slow down the grass growing. Okay. So, speaking of young people who were teaching old dogs new tricks, I was the old dog. Adam Grimm was the new trick teacher we had here this weekend. And first off, it was a lot of fun, except for the rain the second day. Oh my God. It was a trickle. Like the first half of Saturday was cool. It wasn't bad. It was just like a slight mild sprinkle drizzle here and there. No big deal. But then we took a little break just to warm up a little bit because it was cool. And then we came out of the clubhouse and it had gotten windier. It didn't get colder, but it got windier. And then as the day progressed, the rain got heavier and heavier and heavier. And by the time we were shooting the practice stage at the end, I was in full-blown don't give a fuck that I paid for this class anymore. I'm ready to go home.
Yeah.
And so I did put in the full effort on the practice stage the first time. Like, did the process, stayed disciplined, shot it pretty good, pretty okay. And then And then he goes, all right, who wants to shoot it again? And all of us are like, no, not me.
Yep.
And he's like, no, you're shooting it again. He basically, I mean, he didn't make us, but he kind of shamed us into it. It's like, no, we're here. Let's just shoot it one more time. And I shot it, and I FTSA'd a popper down the right side that I knew it was there, but I just went up and shot it like it was a drill that I did not give a fuck about. And he's like, oh, yeah, that was fast. Not very good hits. You also forgot to target it. I'm like, did I? Huh. How about that? And just went back and then started taking my shit off like I was just done. It was bad though. We were all just like, nope, we're done.
Well, and so for anyone who doesn't know this lore, you've only taken Ben's class one time, and
twice.
That's the only twice. So, and that's the only class you've ever taken. USPSA
well, there was
related.
my NRA instructor class I had to take.
Right, where they taught you how to collect payment and all that fun stuff.
That was the only thing I learned was get paid up front.
Yep. And it's one of those things that you look at, you're like, oh man, we're going to shoot a lot of rounds. That's going to be great. And then, at least my experience in Ben's class is by day 2, your hands, you've ripped open blisters, you've cut your hands up, like you stop wanting to hold the gun. And on the last run, you're like, oh, thank God we're done. I don't want to be on the range been on the range for 16 hours. I'm good. I don't want to be here for a month.
We were still on the range for like all 16 hours. It was just, and I don't mean to be negative about it to start off with, because it was great. It was fantastic. I learned a lot. I learned more than I thought I would, and not because I didn't think Adam wasn't going to be good at teaching. It was my own hubris. You know, I'm a master. I know my shit. Yep. And I do know my shit, but I don't know all my shit. And that was the biggest thing I learned this weekend was I don't know all my shit. There's the title of the episode. I don't know all my shit.
Yes.
I'm going to write that down.
It is hard to overcome one's hubris because, we've been doing this for 7, 8, 9 years. And you're like, oh, I've been there, done that, got the sticker. And then someone like Adam shows up and there's like, what about this, and this? And you're like, oh, fuck. Uh-huh. What was your biggest, like, oh, fuck moment?
Biggest oh, fuck moment was he had us do a drill where we were shooting controlled pairs. Just for comparison's sake, something people might recognize it. It was sort of similar to practical accuracy, where it's like you're confirming it, like you're guaranteeing an A when you shoot it. But it was still a pair. We didn't do like a bill drill of controlled shots. It was still a double. Like we did doubles, like aggressive doubles. And so, just which I've shot lots of doubles and I still do lots of doubles. Like some people think they're overrated. I do not. To me, that is me getting in touch with my hands and my gun and things doing what they're supposed to do. But when we were shooting the controlled pair, and he didn't even call that either, it was just, let it settle. I don't remember how he phrased it, but it was, make sure they're there every time. Well, I'm putting the bullets like right in the same spot, and I think we started at 15 yards, and then we went back to like 20 and 25, and even at like after we went to 25, then we went back to 15, and then he just kept pushing me like, okay, that looked good, but just do it faster. Like you're seeing it, you're calling your hits. Yeah, we'll just do it faster.
Right.
Okay. And then all of a sudden, after the last pair I shot, I was like, that motherfucker just tricked me into shooting a double that was entirely controlled. That was my biggest aha. Like,
how dare he trick you?
You can see faster than you think you can.
Yep.
And that was just ba-ding. But he literally had to push me into it,
Right.
And that happened a lot because, it wasn't like I was being defiant or like, I already know this. Like, I went in completely open-minded, like 100%. Like, this cat learned how to do this shit in 2 years on his own for the most part. I'm going to listen to him. But there would be things where there'd be times where he would just say, okay, well, what about this? And and then I'm like, oh, I never thought of that. That happened a lot, like just little things. And I didn't write a single thing down. I wish I had. But basically the day one thing was just, and it's a thing I knew, I just wasn't actually doing it. Always keep pushing. Always keep pushing. The other really great thing was no one had watched my shooting in 5 years. So, except for Steven, as he said today. He was at our club match today. And we went out, a bunch of us went out to eat after the match, and he's like, well, I've watched your shooting. I was like, yeah, but you weren't helpful. Or whatever snarky thing I said back to him. I don't know. Anyway. Cock. So that was the other thing I wanted to say about the first day of it. The first day was all fundamentals. And when I say fundamentals, I mean fundamentals. Like, we did draws. We did reloads. I did not expect to do draws and reloads. And I'll be honest, draws, that's the only thing I'll say in the class, like, nah, dude, I'm good. That's the one thing I'm hyper confident. I have a really good draw. But reloads, I learned stuff. There was
really, like what? As the resident terrible reloader.
Well, he was like, he's like, how do you guys reload? And then I'm like, well, I like bringing the gun into me. I don't like leaving it out there because then it's like, it's a farther target to hit. Like if you're shooting a long shot, it's the same thing. It's just harder to hit out there.
Yes.
Magwell guns are different, but if you're shooting a Shadow 2, which is what I shot in the class, that's tough. I like bringing it in. And then his method was just bring the elbow in. Done. And then, I never gave myself that index point or anything like that. So, and it was a thing I had seen before, but the only thing I kind of noticed was he really lays the gun horizontal when he does it. And that did seem a little easier than to try to, find the same angle if they're both kind of flat. That made it easier too. But no,
that's fair.
The fundamental stuff was great. The movement stuff was fantastic. Learned some just sort of new ways of getting in and out of spots.
Yeah.
That was really cool. Day 2 was the part I was the most looking forward to because he is a maniac shooting on the move. And he's so good at it. The thing I learned about this guy is that he was showing me videos on his laptop last night of like his third match ever, and his speed, his go, like just the speed he did everything in his third ever match was pretty much as fast as it is now. He was just clunky and slow because he didn't know what he was doing yet.
Right.
And was, getting slowed down by the gloves dangling from his belt and his dump pouch. Like, it was a total Timmy belt he was shooting with. But no, I mean, he had, this cat likes to go fast. Like, that's it's fun. Let's go fast. Let's do it some more. So when we started doing the shooting on the move, it was, I'd never shot an array on the move, like in training or in a class, where you went forward. And he had us do it going forward. So we're just like doing it the most natural way possible. I'm like, that was fucking smart. And was able to really gain some ground, like in my ability to do that. But, and also get more stable while you're doing it, which I had a lot of trouble with at the match today. I had some stability issues. But yeah, it was fantastic. And then today we shot a match. So he squatted with all the guys that were in the class and shot the club match at not my club, the other club here, Sioux Falls Practical Shooters. And the match was great. He and I actually collaborated on a stage design last night, and then we got there and built it. And the funny thing about that, we were trying so hard to not walk all the way to the other side of the range to go get another wall that we turned this stage into an abomination of barrels just to eventually just go get a wall.
Yep.
So when you're building a stage, you're trying to avoid a wall, just go get a wall. And don't rely on barrels and practice them, because unless your walls are already put together and can be staked down really easy, which none of ours are up here, it's going to cause a problem. So That was kind of funny.
Right.
The stuff I did good in the match, because I just learned a bunch of tricks from the national champ, I was going fast, and I got my wish. I had the third best Raw time in the match today, which is not something I ever have. I had a better Raw time than Steven.
Yeah, he just put in our group chat that 3 photos of him with his thumb literally in the ejection port. Apparently he was touching with his thumbs the side of the slide near the ejection port and retarding it and giving himself a lot of malfunctions. So you got to shoot your attitudes. Don't.
Yeah.
You lost because of your fancy gun, dipshit.
Well, and he may have given himself some malfunctions. I'm still saying I beat him. I had my problems too. I just didn't retard a slide.
Correct. See, you're not a retarder.
Yeah.
But so it sounds like I probably would have enjoyed his style. With his aggression,
his style of movement. Also, he's not as tall as you, but he's a tall guy. He's like 6'3" or 4, and long-legged dude. Yeah, I mean, when he moves, he kind of looks like I don't know. Sort of spidery the way his legs are, just these long legs, super wide, moving around, and yeah, it was a good time. Match was the good thing was I had the third best time overall in the match. Bad part was I blew by a target and got an FTSA. So
God damn it!
It was on our second stage. I shot an M run on the classifier. It was okay. It was a little tentative. It was our first stage too, so I shot like an 85% and 85 point something. It was okay. What was it? 85.46. M class run on which classifier was this? 2507. It was a fun one. I liked it. And then the next stage we shot, it was just sort of a sideways stage, and I was up first. And so I had my stage plan down. I was pretty confident in the plan, and I shot it, and I called a mic on a tux, but I'd already gone by the position. I threw a makeup, and I had 2 in the black and 1 in the A zone and on a tux, and it was like, yeah, okay. I took a mic, I'm not going back for it, and finished up the stage, and then I go, I got a mic, and then I hear Adam behind me go, you got 2 more because you didn't shoot that target. I'm like, what target? Turns out it was the target I took a sight picture on during Make Ready.
Beautiful.
It was, and I didn't even realize that until I took a turn with the timer, and Robert, who was also in the class, he was shooting, and he took a sight picture on the target. And I was like, oh, I took a sight picture on that target that I did not shoot. Yeah. So
beautiful.
That wasn't good. I did. It was sloppy, points wise. I had 4 mics, a delta, 4 mics, and a procedural. 86% of the points. But like I said, third best overall time in the match. Nick beat me, and then of course Adam. How did you look at the scores yet from our match?
I've only seen a screenshot of it.
Okay, Steven got second overall. How much of a difference do you think it was between him and Adam, percent-wise?
15%?
25%.
Ooh.
Second place was 25% behind Adam. It was wild. His total time in the match was 64:55. Nick was second fastest at 74:15, so 10 seconds behind him. And then I was another 6 seconds behind. So
he averaged 2 seconds faster stage than the next fastest guy, and on average 4 seconds a stage on everybody else.
And he shot 6 Charlies. That was it. 6 Charlies, 96% of points. That was it. And it wasn't. There was only a couple of tough targets. There was a really tough port target. you could go into the port, or you could save yourself getting sucked into the port by kind of shooting it from the back. But you were getting like the width of the A zone look at the target through the port. It was tough, but a lot of us did it, and that it seemed to be the play. I thought it was funny. Steven and Nick were on the squad behind us, and they came up, and Kian was just did a walkthrough. He's like, "Why the hell are you doing that? Why wouldn't you go to the port?" Kian turns around. That's how Adam shot it. So that was kind of fun. But things I did good, like I was just more aggressive. I was more aggressive. My movement was better, just like thinking about things in a little better detail about my feet, exiting, shooting the second I'm in. That was a thing he harped on me on was, hey, when your foot leaves the ground outside the shooting area, be shooting.
Right.
Gun up all the time. And by all the time, like all the time. Because there were times, like I know to leave the gun up. And when the number of times he told me, where was your gun? I was like, oh, fuck. And then I looked at the video of my first stage on the classifier. Sure enough, I dropped the gun after the first array. For no reason at all. I didn't drop it low. It wasn't like I brought it into the Sewell position or anything like that. But I lowered it. And then by the time I could see the next target, it wasn't there yet.
Correct.
And it was another couple of tenths that I lost. So, no, highly recommend. If you're looking to bring a class to your club, highly recommend Adam Grimm. Fantastic dude, fantastic class. It was a lot of fun. And just fun guy to hang out with, too, for sure.
Very nice.
So, yeah, definitely have him to your club for a match. Patreon.com/Not Another Shooting Show. It's only $3.57 a month. You'll get all of the second episode every single week, which seems to be the most fun one, where Jeff and I drink the most and have the longest show. At least lately, anyway.
Yeah.
Tend to get a little rambly, and it's a good time. That's over. NASS on Reddit, r/NASS. That's our Reddit. It's really busy sometimes, and sometimes it's not very busy. Like this last week, it wasn't very busy. Northwoods is coming up this weekend up at Forest Lake. There's a few guys from here going there. Payouts, $1,000 for CO and LO. I don't know if there's room left or not. PCSL Belt Championship, May 17th at Mission 160 in Texas. Great Plains section, June 6-7. Hey, Jeff, guess what time what my time was on the classifier today?
6'4".
6'7".
I want to hit you.
I've got video of me even doing it when they called it out on my hat cam. Cornhusker Classic is June. Oh, by the way, Great Plains. There's waitlist. There's some people about to go in on the waitlist because I've got people who won't pay. I approved them and they won't pay, so I'm about to delete them. So all 3 of the waitlist people are about to get in. So waitlist is still kind of moving. So if you want to get into Great Plains, that is still a possibility. Cornhusker Classic, kind of the same situation. Sunday's totally sold out, but there's a waitlist for that. Rushmore State Championship. There's slots available for that July 11th and 12th. Minnesota section is August 29th and 30th at Forest Lake. And the Cops match will practice score. Let me look it up. I forgot to do that. We'll do another ad for the Cops match later on between things after I find that info. Okay. Sorry, Ben.
We're doing it live.
Jeff, why should you go back to the turtle? I just took a class that said I should not be a turtle.
I don't
and you
know,
think
like,
you should be a turtle? I think you're wrong.
It's one of those weird things of when I shoot conservative stages and conservative matches, I tend to do well. Like Great Plains last year, I think I went the first 4 or 5 stages without shooting a Charlie or something like that.
That just means you're too slow.
But I was doing well. I mean, it was weird. I don't know. Like at the match I shot, what 3 weeks ago now? Shit. The week. Sorry. The CTE is making the weeks all blend together. 2 weeks ago, the one stage I actually shot well. I shot all alphas, and my time was like 3 or 4 seconds off the tryhards, but I took 3rd on the stage overall. So I don't know. Like there are moments where the aggressive shoot on the move side quest is like hell yeah, and then there's other times where the boring side of me is like, hey, you tend to do okay if you just make sure you shoot all the alphas. And I don't know. I go back and forth between it. It's frustrating.
I'm going to tell you why you're wrong.
Okay.
Because still try to shoot all the alphas, but just move while you do it when you can do it. I got a little aggressive today at the match. There was a popper on the last stage we shot. I shot the stage well, except for this one popper that I threw 5 rounds at before it went down. So that cost me probably 2 seconds or close to 2 seconds. But in that whole middle array, I was shooting it on the move, getting to the last port where there were 3 targets, and I did the thing where you have Charlies on either side of the A zone on one paper target, and then I had like a Alpha Charlie or 2 Charlie on the other target. It was just really unstable, and Adam, of course, pointed it out. Like, yeah, you weren't very stable there, were you? I was like, oh, yeah, no. He's like, yeah, for some reason you're on your toes the whole way through there. I do this thing where I didn't know it. He pointed it out. It's like this leftover remnant from being a college football player pass blocking. Like, we're always on our toes.
Right.
And, movement in USPSA is sort of like how you would stand as a football player, moving around, except I have this tendency to stay on my toes instead of like, as I'm moving, like heel toe to, be smoother with the movement. So every time my toe hits, boo, 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 it's like this shudder. But
right.
Yeah. No, you're also wrong because every time I did something on the move, well, it sure was faster than bang, 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 bang.
Right.
There's a lot more bang, 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 bang.
I can do things fast as fuck. That part's not hard. It's the connection part that becomes the difficult side.
What I found was hard because I was really trying to shoot everything on the move, and I mean this match was like I wasn't trying to win this match or finish at the best possible spot. This is basically the 3rd day of class for me, and so I was trying things that I was doing differently, and so a lot of them weren't totally ingrained and not subconscious yet. And if Adam shot before me and I saw how he did it, or like when he was kind of helping a stage plan too. Like if he was doing something on the move, even if it was a little beyond me, I was still going to do it. Like I'm going to try to shoot it like that. And there wasn't really anything where it was that far beyond my ability, as long as I wasn't an asshole about it. And I was an asshole about it in a couple places, but yeah, it's always better. Just like, why not go faster? It's fun.
I don't doubt it, and I look forward to the derision and mockery that I will receive when I actually push the pace.
When you do station to station IDPA shit, yeah, it'll be great.
We shall.
I can't wait to start beating you again. Actually, I never beat you. I beat you one time, and I can't wait to start beating you again.
Right? I mean, we shall see.
Have I? Is it just Iowa that year? Is that the only time I ever beat you? I think it is. Other than like the dark match this year, which I don't count.
Right. Well, that's kind of the hard thing. Is that I don't really pay attention to a lot of I barely remember where I finish, let alone where other people finish. And we don't shoot a lot of matches together where you aren't staff. So.
Yeah, but if I'm just staff and not running it, I don't take. That's not an excuse for me because I'm not really.
But that means of the 3 matches we shot together, you were staff at 2. You were running 2 of them.
That's last year, yes, not counting dark matches.
Right.
And dark matches are just fun, and I don't really care what happens there. But
well, and then you have a tendency to shoot stupid divisions. Because didn't you shoot?
I shot L10 at Great Plains last year.
Yes. So we can't even compare that one.
No, we
and
can't.
So it becomes difficult. But I don't know. You have beat me at the one major where we were both just competitors. So I guess, you.
Okay, so the one time I didn't have a handicap, I beat Jeff. Yay.
Yeah.
No, I've shot at your club a few times, though, too. And I've not beat you, so it's fine.
I'll take
if
your word
you
for
want
it.
to say I'm better than you, Jeff, just go ahead and say it. I'm fine with it.
Yeah. You know, Andy, you're pretty damn good at this sport. You should just accept it. It's okay.
Oh shit.
Like, and now every time we squad together, I'm like, hey, you remember that? How you're gonna beat me? Like, think about that. And then I'm just going to run it fucking balls to the wall.
If there's one thing I have learned about you, Jeff, is not to talk shit to you before a competition. That is not something I would ever do with you. Now, Steven Cock, I would talk shit to him because I think I can get in his head. I think I can get him, like, man, you are so good. You just might beat Adam Grimm at this match. I think you're going to beat him. I think this is the day. This is the time you get him. But now I'm just telling him my strategy to fuck with him, so it won't work anymore. Never mind. Anyway.
No, it will. It will.
Okay.
If Steven has a weak part of his game, it's the mental part.
That's everybody's weak part, though.
Well, at the end of the day, it's weird because I'm
that
in
and his left thumb.
Yes, and the two sports I'm in are so. The mental game fucks with people so much more than the physical attributes of the game. And it's funny because of the two, shooting, you should just be like, fuck it, we ball. Like, it don't matter. No one's punching you in the face. But like, I had several students compete this weekend in kind of like they call them point spar. Basically, it's like touch fighting instead of like trying to knock each other out, but people still fucking get hit. And I had like two people miss weight. I had all this, and I'm like, guys, like, it's not that serious. Like, why are we freaking out right now? And but I also recognize that, like, before my fight, I started freaking out more than I thought I was going to. And there are those elements that, like, for the, like USPSA side, I understand why people drive fire in the morning. I understand why people want to hit a practice bay before a match starts. I'm like, okay, this is all starting to make sense. It's all everything is starting to come together. And so it's that mental aspect of it is tough because it is really just show up and shoot your match. That's it. There's no other information that you need other than, hey, is this plan more effective than this plan? Other than that, it is literally show up and shoot your match.
It's funny you said that about the mental game, because there was one stage today where it was our third stage. It was Bay 2, and I had a plan, and I had it locked in. And I was like, I wanted to do well on this stage, because it was a big point stage. I think it was like 28 rounds or so, and my plan was dialed. I was good to go, and it was the only time all day I was nervous. And I never get nervous at a club match. And it was like, I was like, oh my God, I'm so nervous. It was just like, I had some butterflies. Yeah. Like, it was like, I just put pressure on myself because I knew I had the stage plan dialed, instead of just like, you've got it dialed, go do it. Like, it was like, you've got it dialed. I am also coming off of shitting the bed on the previous stage where I ran by a target. So I knew I was not going to run by a target on this stage. So it's like, okay, you're going to do good on this one. And I did shoot it well, but I ran by a spot. Like, it was a very spot specific stage. If you went by a spot, it was going to cost you coming back. And the stage starts, there's like a stack on the right, and then move over, kind of a long tux, and then move forward a little bit, and then there is on the left there was a target, or no, then it was that port target I mentioned, the really narrow port, and then off to the left you're gonna have to move forward, but all you had to do was just like keep your gun up and just take some steps and get there, shoot it, and then come back to the left, and there's gonna be another tux through the port just right there. Well, instead of just taking those few steps, like, I hustled to get to that spot, and I overran the spot. And then when I turned, shit, I have completely overrun this target. Now I'm like backtracking. And so I cost myself like, I don't know how much time, like, and that couple seconds.
That's the true hardest part of aggressive movement, is the actual
Remember
stops
when you're
and
not
slow down.
supposed to be aggressive.
Right. And that's where USPSA stages almost don't give enough space, at least for me, to push my speed aggressively. Not that I have a lot of it, but the ability to get up to speed and come back down to speed. I got a lot of weight that needs to get up, and I got a lot of weight that needs to get down.
Mm-hmm.
And it is tough to get that sprinter, like we've talked about before. If we had a, defensive, like a tight end or like a running back or a wide receiver from the NFL, their ability to just like blast would be super interesting. If that would make a big difference.
The interesting is, like, of the guys that were in the class, there was one dude who was really tall. He was like 6'5", long-legged guy, Mike. And then there was a couple of other guys, Tristan and Joe, who were shorter. Their legs aren't as long. And so, like, some of the movement stuff, it was actually something you'd have to account for,
Yeah.
Like the difference in how taller guys versus shorter guys, like, it matters. There's the way you would kind of exit a position, the timing of it all. If you watch a long-legged guy, if he starts shooting and he's already moving those feet, well, a shorter guy, it doesn't take him as long to move those feet, even though the length is not that much. But like were kind of basing it off taller guys when to start moving their feet, and then they were completely out of position and completely like off balance and stuff. And it was just like, you just got to wait longer. It was something I kind of learned it too. Just like, if I'm ever helping people, like, oh, okay, yeah, that's a little different if you're really long-legged or you're really short-legged. But I'm going to skip ahead to one that's sort of counter to this topic. Always shoot like an asshole?
Yes.
You just said you need to go back to turtle, but now always shoot like an asshole.
Again, this is the like conundrum of life, is that while I did like hit all my shots and do all that shit, everything else I'm like, be aggressive, be aggressive. And again, it's funny to me explaining to people who didn't know me like the first 3+ years that I shot, is that I was a turtle. I did shoot all the alphas and I made sure all my shots hit. And
you're accountable for every round you fire.
Exactly. And now I am so aggressive that I'm the split monster, and people don't accept that I don't have full, like, let's fucking go. But it has been my kind of thought pattern is, when I get my tack sports, that, maybe I can be even more aggressive with those. Probably not. Other than the first shot, they really shouldn't be drastically different.
I can be not drastically. No, they're not drastically different, but I think you will find them more comfortable to be aggressive.
Okay. I mean, because I'm willing. It's going to be hard this year just because my schedule and matches do not line up as well this year. But because there was what was his name? He was like they called him like GM Glock 26 or something like that. He was an Asian dude.
I know who you're talking about. I can't think of his name.
Yeah, and he
made GM with a Glock 26.
Yeah, and he's like, it's the gun that fit me. And the way he looked at it was, he would shoot matches at full speed, like full aggression. And he didn't care where he placed. He didn't care what happened. He just learned where the wheels fell off, so that when he went to majors, he could back it off a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think he took like 22nd nationals or something with a Glock 26. And it was like, oh, fuck. Like, okay, maybe his strategy worked. But there's that competitive side of you that's like, hey, I don't like finishing 27th on the scoreboard because I had up 2 mics per stage, but I, was raw time champ by 10 seconds. And so it's hard to confront that, but I also don't want to build entire stages to practice on all the time. And so I do think that I'm going to embrace the side quest of always shoot like an asshole and just try to drive my way through all the stages through sheer aggression and see what I get out of that. Again, like you said, the Tac Sport 2s should fit my hand better. They should be easier for me to hold on to and like do shit with. And so I don't know. Maybe there's another level that I am unaware of because I've been too much of a turtle my entire shooting career.
There is 100%. Now we're gonna go back. Iowa Cops Memorial Match in Elkhart, Iowa. That's just outside of Des Moines. It is July 26th. It is a Hit Factor match, charity match. They do all sorts of fun shenanigans, like the reshoots. You buy reshoots. It's
you buy reshoots for your friends, not for you.
Well, you can do both, I believe.
Oh,
but you can make your friend reshoot. Such a good idea for a match. Anyway, that's July 26th. It's on Practice Score. Search Iowa Cops. There was, by the way, there was out in what's the club in California? Richmond. They had their Escape from Alcatraz match this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And the stages looked awesome. I don't know if you saw any of the videos of those. The stages looked really, really fun.
Yeah, I've probably seen some of them because I get like everyone uploads like the one cool stage of every match, and so
you get a bunch of the same stage.
Yeah, because there was a hoser stage that people uploaded a shit ton where it was like 4 targets in front of them, 2 target. No, I think it was 4 or something like that, and it was just people absolutely fucking blasting, and it looked fun as shit.
Yeah, no, it looked like a hoot.
I don't know.
I'm very jealous of their bullet traps, so they can put targets in places you normally couldn't, like in front of walls, because they've got bullet traps.
Right.
They're like, Adam was kind of describing them to me. He'd seen them. I think it's some sort of like bullet trap material in front of steel.
Yep.
And I've seen the ones like Action Target sells, and they're expensive as hell. And then it'd be another thing you'd have to like keep indoors and whatnot. Oh, they had a boat that was actually in water.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. If you look at the Richmond Action account on Instagram, he just started standing in a boat that was in. They just basically dug a little bit of a pond, put a tarp and bags around it, and yeah, there's a little bit of water for the boat to actually rock around on water. I had shot from a boat before, but it was multi-gun nationals, but that boat at Forest Lake was just sitting on the ground. You're just sitting in a boat that was on ground. And then there was a boat the first time I shot Zombies in the Heartland that was just hanging from chains, but it was a boat.
Yeah.
That boat, I don't know if I ever told you about this. You had to shoot through, they had PVC pipe, they drilled holes in, and there was water coming out of it, and you had to shoot the rifle through this water at targets. Like steel targets way downrange. Like 1 and 200 yards away.
Yeah.
And if the bullet hit the water, like you did not hit the target. You had to kind of try to line it up to the gap, but they were so tight. It was basically just a crapshoot. You just shot until you got your hits.
Yeah.
And I actually did really well on that stage, and then it ended up getting thrown out. I'm so
no.
pissed. It was because there were it got thrown out because some of the top shooters were getting really shitty scores, and you're like, this isn't fair. And the right one complained, and so it got thrown out. Meh.
Tell us how you really feel.
Yeah. I wasn't a very good shooter back then, but yeah. Anyway, so you have beef with a classifier, Jeff.
I do.
0309. What is your beef with it? Because I've shot that classifier. It's not a hard one, but it's not an easy one to do well on either.
Yeah, so for anyone who's never shot this one, it's 2 walls. There's a target to the left of the two walls are parallel to each other, about 5 yards apart, whatever. There's one target on the left side of the wall, 2 targets in the middle of the wall, and 1 target on the right of the wall. And you're in a shooting box about 15 yards away from them.
At 10 yards. I'm looking at the diagram. The middle targets are 10 yards, and then the 2 targets on either side are at 20 feet, so a little under 7 yards.
Yeah, and so this is a stage that I've done good on, but I've done good on it because the wall was incorrect.
Yeah.
And it's so, I don't want to say complicated, but it's almost, to get a stage like that correctly, you need everything to be exactly correct. And so what can happen is either the walls are not put in straight, or they may be put in straight, but the thing that's holding them is like a thick PVC pipe. And so the wall is getting blown over by the wind. Mm-hmm. And so it's easier. It's flexing. And so you can have an easier opportunity to get the hits. And so this popped up. A buddy that I shot with, he shot a GM on it. Good for him. But his first run, he basically got to the middle and shot all 4 targets. And I'm like, that's not right. You have to lean for at least one of them. I don't think it's the lean. You just have to be all the way on the other side before you can see that target. Sorry, yeah, you have to be on the far left and then the far right.
You have to be on the far ends to get the first and last target.
Right. He was in the middle and just went bop 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 bop. And I'm like, no, that's not how that works. And so I think that one is so simple and so easily deviated that it probably needs to get removed for competitor equity.
But is it the classifier's fault walls are not set up correctly?
It's, if we're going to have standardized tests that have random Joes making them, yes, it has to be to the point where people can't fuck it up.
The design is very simple.
It is.
Like, the thing is, both whole walls need to be exactly 3.75 feet from the center line of the stage. And I'm guessing they measured the leg next to the targets and didn't measure the front leg.
Right.
And because actually in that video, because you sent me the video, the walls look like they're pretty straight up and down.
Right.
But yeah. But I mean, that could happen with any classifier. You can have something set up and it's more exposed than it's supposed to be, and it becomes easier to shoot fast.
Right.
Or like, 2101 trigger freeze. Maybe that first target that's supposed to have a no shoot on it is an open target. It's easier to get going faster, and you shoot a GM run, and then you have to resubmit it as not a classifier because you posted it on Reddit and someone pointed it out, and damn it, I lost my first GM run. But I got another one later last year. Anyway, I'm not bitter about it or anything.
Tell us how you really feel.
No, I actually was not bummed. I was bummed out about it, but I wasn't mad or anything. I was glad he pointed out. He was 100% right. Like, it got set up wrong. The guy that set up the targets, he was just like, I'm so sorry. He set him up from the back of the target instead of the front of the target. He did them in the right order, just backwards. If he was looking at it from behind the targets, it was the correct order, but that made it reversed on the shooting side, and that kind of mattered. So, and I was just like, hey, I looked at it before we started shooting the match, and I shot it, and I didn't notice. I just shot it. I didn't think that hard about it, but it happens. I mean, it is imperfect, and the system does rely on clubs to have integrity around the classifiers. And I'm not saying this club didn't have integrity around it. It just happens.
Yeah.
Some clubs, I will say, I know for a fact that some clubs don't have a lot of integrity when it comes to classifiers. And some of those clubs don't exist anymore because of these sorts of problems. And I like the one we're talking about, I'm not saying it was deliberate or anything like that. It is an easy classifier to goof up the setup. And But I completely disagree with you, Jeff. I don't think it's the classifier's fault. Of all the older classifiers, that is one of my favorites, actually, because it was one of the few that had actual movement. And that one's a good challenge. And it's, if set up correctly, it is a very fair challenge, but you really got to set up everything just right to make it fair. And
yeah.
And I'm kind of outside of the center line of the stage. I am done, especially the way the new classifiers are for the most part. It's basically cut fault line sticks to the lengths you need. Like have the array of 8 to 2 foot sticks or 1 foot sticks. Color code all of them, so you just know which one's which, or label them, and then build your stages with those to square them up.
Right.
Because it's so much easier to do that than to like get the tape straight and blah 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 blah. You know, then you're just like, oh yeah, here's the 2x2. We measure it. I did that with some classifiers last year, and it was super handy. So, all right, GM transition meets C-class ammo.
Yeah. So, and I should post more of the videos. So, my weekend 2 weekends ago shooting was not fun. My 10 millimeter did not work. I do think it was the ammo, because I think the Federal does work, and that it was the Fiocchi wasn't working, but I also don't like a gun that doesn't like Fiocchi. But I may have had some high primers on my 9 millimeter ammo that I found in an ammo can in Todd's garage, that I reloaded last year. And it was kind of funny to watch, because you can see how, I'm going to call myself a high level shooter, transitions.
It's good.
Off of a target.
Good. You're not high level. You're good.
Right. I done did good, bud. And so the transition, you'll see me go bang, click, and I'm already moving to the next target, and I have to go fuck and go back. And it was an interesting, like, oh, that's that aggressive transitioning that is actually where the GMs start to make the difference. Yes, I sent those two and I'm going to the next problem, whereas C-class guys can go bang, click, yep, I'm still on target, I'm going to pull the trigger again. Whereas my transitions were bang, click, oh shit, I transitioned to the next target. Now, and this was one of my failings, is I should have continued the transition if possible, done the work, and then gone back. But I would go bam, try to transition, shit, that was a click, go back, shoot, okay, move on to the next thing. But it was if I were to ever teach class, I would use those videos as, this is what I'm talking about with the aggression of your transition. Is it should be bang, bang, I'm done with that task. I'm going to the next task because I know that task is done. Whether I did it good or not, I don't actually care. The task is done. Yeah. But sometimes newbies will get to where they go bang, bang, yep, I did it. Now I'm moving on to the next one. Bang, bang. Yep, that one's good. Going to the next. And it's like, nope. You go bang, bang. Okay, I've already moved on to the next one.
Mm-hmm. It's frustrating when you're ready, when you have that transition and then your gear doesn't work or something else keeps going wrong. It's, I had my plan of using pulled bullets has fallen through in a way that has been spectacular. So some of these bullets are like 3.54 in diameter. Some are 3.53. I found some that are like 3.50. Like they were over crimped big time when they were crimped. So they were basically reformed.
Yep.
And to even just try to get them to, because some of them would just, after the cases belled, when the bullet feeder dropped them in there, they like went all the way through. And they're resting on the powder, some of them. So at least I didn't spend a lot of money on them. I can get them to seat, but I just have to adjust the powder die. What is that called? The powder dropper die or whatever, the thing that bells the case.
Yeah.
Or expands the case. I gotta I have to crank that down a lot if I'm using those bullets, and they are strictly going to be practice bullets. And I did not use those in the class. I had 1,000 extreme plated bullets that I had loaded up getting ready for Adam's class, and I needed to load another 1,000. So I was just like, I'll load the other 1,000 with those. And that was not going to work without. So I can either go spend $95 on 1,000 bullets, or I can spend way too much time trying to make these work. I'm going to run to Shields and go get more bullets.
Right.
This is the smart plan here at this point. So that's what I did. But it was, and I did it with the American Select powder. I'm probably going to end up using that in like 10 millimeter because it's so big and flaky. I'm going to get squibs with it because it's easy for it to fly out in 9 millimeter because the case is so small. I like how it shoots, but it's so inconsistent unless if I could do something to smooth out my press a little more. And then I also got a text from Dan, who I don't know if I replied to him. Sorry, Dan. He had texted me and said the Lee factory crimp die is shit. He's never had anything but problems with it. And basically, I have talked to a few people even before he sent me that text that they either have fantastic luck with that die or it's shit. And I had good luck with it, but it does walk out. Like mine does. But somebody I talked to, theirs stays rock solid. Like the witness mark stays right where it is. Because it has sort of a dial on the top. You don't just seat it and adjust it that way. There's actually an adjustment dial in addition to that. Yeah. And also, the die is so short in my 650 Dillon, I actually had to put the ring on from the bottom because to get it down low enough, it ran out of threads on the top. So I had to lock it in with the lock ring on the bottom.
Huh.
Yeah. I don't know if that's why, but maybe. At our club match today, there were a lot of new shooters. I don't know if it was a record for a club match there, but I think they had how many registered shooters? They had a lot. Now, for some bigger clubs, if oh my God, there were 72 shooters registered in the match. Oh, no, there were 70 registered. 4 didn't show up. I don't think I've never seen a 70-person match at that club before. They've hit 60 before, never 70. And they had 70 registered for this match today. And there was a lot of new shooters on our squad. And I'm not even going to talk about their shooting or their safety or anything like that because they were all pretty good as far as that went. There were some that were getting close to some scary things. There was a guy who I actually knew. He had taken classes from me before, and he showed up with his .40 caliber Tac Sport Orange that he bought 10 years ago and had never shot. It was in a leather holster that did not fit it with like the thumb brake. Yeah.
Oh my God, let's go.
And it
fucking legend.
Didn't really fit the gun.
Yeah.
Like the trigger was probably exposed more than it should have been, in there. But it's like, it's gonna be okay. And he was safe enough, and it was more. He was safe. It was just procedurally incorrect. Like he would point the gun up a lot.
Yeah.
And so I gave him a heads up, like when you're moving, point it, sideways, not sideways, but like straight down range, like horizontal to the ground. And he's like, and I was like, yeah, I know up is generally safe for guns, but if you go too far backwards, then it's still, that's not good.
Yep.
The things that we were a little frustrated by some of the shooters on the squad because they were new, but just didn't know what to do. Like it's their first match. They don't know what to do. And Robert asked me, because he was running he's the match director, and he was on my squad. And on the first stage, he started yelling at everybody, "You need to pace," doing the thing. Yep. He's like, "Was that a little too harsh?" And I was like, yeah, for the first warning, it was. But it was a lot of a lot of times it was the experienced guys were talking to the new guys, like helping them out. And that was the cause of about half of it. So it was from a good place. It wasn't from just like dirt. The other half was the new guys going dirt.
Right. Like
and also occasionally the experienced guys going dirt. I'm talking, not paying attention.
Right. You know? And that's always going to be the, like, you've got to train new people. It sucks because, like, man, everyone's going slow. And you're like, yeah, because they don't fucking know.
No, not only that, but give them a job. Like the guy that had the tack sport and the leather holster, I gave him a job, and he actually said, thank you. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, and that's a part. It feels weird, especially in an all-volunteer sport where none of us actually, there's not a hierarchy, but just walk up and say, you go reset that steel, please.
Yeah. That's what I did. I said, there's 2 poppers on the stage. Just go reset the steel and paint it. And he's like, oh, okay, good. Thank you. Because I don't really know what to do. Because they're also afraid. The thing you have to remember, they're afraid of pre-pasting a target.
Yes.
Because somebody always says that, don't pre-paste it or it's a reshoot. It's a pain in the balls. We'll hate you forever, so don't do it.
Yep.
And so, like, when you're doing that and you got a bunch of new people, like, I understand getting frustrated, but, like, just chill out. Just relax. And just say, hey, we need to do this. And so after a while, I started, this was like on our second to last stage today, I just started going, hey, let's go paste. Yep. And then people kind of wake up from their conversation and go pace.
Yeah.
And it was working out.
It's remarkable. As much as people like to be like, no, I don't like anyone telling me what to do. The vast majority of people like to be told, like, hey, do it now, please. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, yeah, I'm good. Or, hey, can you go do that? Yeah, thanks. It's the classic emergency response where it's normally called the bystander effect, where everyone's standing around because no one knows exactly what to do, and then someone just starts going, hey, you start doing this and you start doing that, and they go, okay, I'll do that. And they're like, I'm just glad to be a part of it.
Yeah. Also with the new shooters, go spot the good ones. There was a guy on our squad, his name's Tyler. It was his first match, and somebody was like looking for somebody to take the tablet, and he just goes, I'll take the tablet. And we're kind of like, really? All right. He's like, yeah, just show me what to do. Because, I mean, he wasn't afraid of it because he was kind of seeing what was happening. Like, oh, they call Alpha Charlie, so there must be something where I go AEC. And, like, he's like, I'm not stupid. I can probably figure this out pretty quick, you know?
Yeah.
And he did. And he's totally hooked. Like, he's like, yeah, I'll be there Thursday at Canton. Sweet.
Yeah, it's one of those things that we build it up in our brain as being this giant, like, oh my God. If you have a phone and you play a game on that phone, you have done more than what is required to do practice score.
Yeah, like you have the training.
Yeah,
you just need to be sort of explained where things are, and that's about it.
Right. It's literally a 2-minute explanation of, like, if I yell Alpha this, if I yell Charlie this, if I yell Mike, it's this. And if we need to clear that out, you hit this. Make sure to hit review. If everything looks correctly, cool. Hit go. End of equation.
It back to me. Yeah.
Yeah. Yell it back. That's a key. I had an experienced guy that he wouldn't yell it back, and I stopped, and he's like, what's up? And I'm like, I need you to tell me that you have heard the information. He goes, yeah, I got it. And I'm like, no, like every fucking time.
You got it.
Yep. Because it's there is moments like we've talked about before, the ENGC style gets a little chaotic, and
unless you're the rails today, we were kind of scoring that way, but on one stage it was like there was no real logical order to score it.
Yep.
And so then finally, Adam just actually kind of came up with a plan. Is like, here, you do this. I'm going to do these, and timer, go get these.
Yep.
And boom, it was done in like no time.
Right.
You know, sometimes when you're running a stage at a major, you end up doing that. But sometimes at a club match, especially when you got a bunch of new people, it's harder to do that. And that club is also traditionally, we walk to every target and only the RO makes the call and da-da-da-da-da. But
right.
they're warming up to the more efficient club match style of scoring.
Because again, it does require a level of proficiency of the people calling, but it also requires a level of trust.
Yeah.
That, are you going to let a new guy, like, if you're going to do that, if you're going to be like, hey, I trust you to call out the target. Also say, I also am totally okay with you going, hey, I don't know what the call is on this one. Can you come check it? And because most of the time you walk up, hey, it's 2 Alpha or it's Alpha Charlie. It's very visible, no question. But even as an experienced RO who's been doing this a while, I'll literally walk up to one and go, hey, you get over here. What would you call that one? That? Okay, cool. That's what I thought. And don't feel bad about that part, but let them know, hey, if you have a question, don't be afraid to ask. But if you walk up and it's 2 Alpha, wait for the score guy to point at you and then go, yeah, 2 Alpha.
I learned a new hack this weekend during the class. Yeah? So like lots of people have their wagons, their carts.
Okay.
They drag around at matches. I forgot mine today. I was a little bummed because it sucked because I didn't have any ammo boxed up. Normally, I'll just go with a couple 100-round boxes. I had to drag my ammo can with like 700-800 rounds still in it, left over from the class, along with my coat and my backpack and my coffee mug and my water bottle. Ugh, it was kind of a pain in the balls. But had I remembered my cart, a thing I need to go buy is a mattress cover for a crib bed or for a crib mattress.
Okay.
Because the thing about mattress pads for crib mattresses is that they have a layer of plastic in them. They're waterproof. Uh-huh. And Robert had one on his cart at the class, and it was raining cats and dogs, and his shit's all dry, except for what got wet from the sides of his cart getting wet,
Yeah.
But, yeah, I was just like, that is so stupid, simple, genius. Like, duh, crib mattress cover. Just leave it wrapped up in the cart, or near the cart, wherever you grab it from when you grab it, and put that over it if it starts raining. Better than a tarp or a raincoat or whatever that just sort of kind of fits and isn't, because it's elastic all the way around the outside too.
Yep.
So it'll hang on. I was just like, oh, that was such a great idea. I'd never seen that before. I'd never seen it. I'd seen people with umbrella holders and all kinds of other shit for their carts. I'd never seen a mattress cover for a crib mattress. That was kind of genius. So practice. Oh, the potential practice score competition.
Yeah.
In the market.
Yeah. So
that was something we became aware of this week.
Yeah, so a buddy of ours has a buddy that apparently is working on a competitor to Practice Score. Apparently SAS, which is the Single Action Shooting Society, Cowboy Action, uses it. And he was seeking more information from match directors to understand the problems that they run into and all that stuff. Our buddy put it into our group chat, and it kind of devolved fairly quickly, and I went. I basically was like, "Everyone, stop! You don't try to elicit conversation in a group. If you're trying to,
especially a group chat on Instagram where all we do is talk shit."
Yes, like I used to work for an engineering firm. The least amount of productivity that was ever accomplished was our group meetings at like 9 a.m. on a Monday, because every engineer had to sit there and jerk themselves off about how awesome they are and how smart they were for figuring out this project that no one else is working on and no one has any stake in and no one knows what the fucking problem is. But they had to sit and tell us for 15 minutes about how they solved this problem. And we're like, we could all go back to our desks and not be sitting here right now. Or it was two engineers having a pissing contest of whose idea was going to solve a problem that none of us were involved in. And so it's just like, yeah, go reach out to individual people for individual conversations, because group conversations around a new idea are just ways for everything to derail. But I look forward to this. I hope it has like some of the features I would like, where it would be nice if when I register for a match, my profile just downloads. Like,
yes, I have an automatic profile. The only thing I still wouldn't want it to select division for me because occasionally I will change that. It's rare, but I do.
Well, even if you had like a little drop down that was like register for this match, would you like it to be your CO registration or your LO registration?
Practice Score does auto populate when I register for a match, like at least my name and email.
Yeah, but I think that's a Google function rather than.
Is it?
I don't know. I have
another. I have a second account I used to use to register my son for Steel Challenge. Let me log into that one on a different browser and see if it works. Okay, so go there.
While he's doing that. So the hope is that this could just be, even if it doesn't replace Practice Score, if there can just be competition that encourages people to...
It does auto-populate name and email.
Okay, interesting.
But that's it.
Yeah, and so, I'm all for, competition in the market because more competition, more better. And it will encourage Practice Score not to sit on its ass.
Or they could just say, okay, if you aren't going to use this anymore, we'll just take our ball and go home.
Yeah.
Because it's free. Like, that would be my question. Like, whoever wants to compete with Practice Score is going to have to do it for free. Because if it's not free, I'm not switching.
Right.
Because Practice Score's free.
Yeah. So they'll have to fund themselves through advertisement or some type of incentive program that's like, hey, if you buy this part, it's worth it to buy.
Donate, or the donate thing,
Or like doesn't Practice Score take like $1 of every registration or something like that?
You can set it up to donate. You can either require it, like it's basically just you're increasing the match fee by $1 or whatever. Because I did that. I think we did that. I think I did that matches last year at my club, and then I think we did it at Area 3 as well. And I know that, Stripe's going to get their cut out of every one of those donations when you could just write a check. It's like, yeah, but then I have to, like, deliberately write a check where this thing just happens, and I don't care if they get 97% of it.
Right.
Like, it's not costing me money. It's costing them money. Fuck it. I don't care.
Right.
I do not care. It's like, yeah, we use Practice Score. I'd like to give them a bump for it. Sure. This is an easy way to do it. I don't care that you're losing money doing it. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, people freak out over minor cents, and you're like,
we better go shop for doors at the dump. We wouldn't want to go to Home Depot to buy doors for the clubhouse. We'll go to the dump and find doors.
Yeah, and two doors that don't match.
Yeah, and they look like shit. But hey, we got free doors. Meanwhile, we have $100,000 in the bank, but we got free doors at the dump.
Correct.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Hey, how's your new gate project coming down there in Omaha, Jeff? Are you weren't you guys gonna get like the key card system or whatever?
I don't know if we're doing that one. We're digging out 2 bays, so.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so if I understand correctly,
do you still have to go to the hardware store in Louisville to get the key to the range? Is that how you get in?
They give us the lock combination every October.
That's how our club used to work. You had to go to the hardware store and get the key, and if the key was already gone, then you had to get it from the guy who was out there.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It's absolutely beautiful. But no, they're doing the dirt work right now. NGC, there it is. For Bay 0 is what they're calling it. The hope is that Bay 0 is going to be the size of our Bay 6, and Bay 1 is going to be extended out to the same length. So it won't be as wide, but it will be like 50 yards deep or 40 yards deep. So
that's interesting.
Yep. So it's really funny. Anyone who's been to ENGC, when they tore all the trees down by our like lower pistol, none of us realized that the 600-yard range is like literally on the other side of the berm.
Yeah.
It is Like every time you heard a "Meow," and you're like, what the fuck? And you're like, oh no, we are downrange of the rifle shooters right now. And when they cut all those out, that Tom's posted some pictures, and you're like, oh shit, like we are right there.
Yeah.
Like,
because there was like guys from here went down and shot your last club match, and I'm like, what the hell gun club are they at? Where's this match? Yeah, I know there was a match at ENGC, but where the hell is this at? Oh, and then I saw like your video and Steven's video. I'm like, oh, all those trees are gone. They did that at the Sioux Falls Practical Shooters, the power company. There's like these giant power lines, like towers with cables, high tension cables, going by, and like the big steel ones, and the transmission lines. They had to like tear trees out because they were getting too close to the lines, and so they, instead of tearing them out of the berms, they cut them. Fortunately, but I guess they were like they got a hold of the gun club, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna come out and cut those down. Well, when? Today. We're shooting a match in there today, and if you're cutting those trees down, you'll be looking down into the bays where we are shooting pistols. Oh, we'll come on Monday. That sounds good. We'll meet you here. Okay.
Yep. And according to Tom, Bay 1 and Bay 0 should be done and open the third week of May. So they will be used at the Cornhusker Classic.
Very cool. Hopefully the gravel's packed good enough by
Hopefully.
then. Yeah. Because we had a modified bay before Great Plains last year, and the gravel and new gravel in it, and it was really soft. Like it was a giant footing problem. So we had to like change the stages, and like we just designed a speed shoot from scratch and threw it in there. Not a speed shoot. It was still like a minimal movement stage, but we had to completely change it because people were going to fall on their face if we ran the stage that was designed to go there. So, but anyway, well, that's exciting. I'm excited to see that. If you have trees at your gun club, you should just start tearing them out, because apparently that's the thing now. Just get rid of trees at gun clubs, because who needs noise abatement? Abatement?
Correct.
Is that the right word?
I know what you're saying. I don't know if that's the right word or not.
I don't think that was the right word. I think I fucked that. Abatement. That was the word. I was close. Abation?
Masturbation?
Yeah. Noise
No breathing?
masturbation. That's how you do it with trees. Tear some trees out. We actually are probably going to need to plant some trees at our club too for noise abation.
Yeah, as long as they don't kick you, as long as they don't kick you out on 24 hours notice.
Yeah, that's a thing we need to settle. It's not 24 hours. It's only 30 days. Yeah,
only 30 days.
Only 30 days. The city could kick us out of our club. It's not imminent or anything. At least probably. As far as we know. Yeah, we'll get a notice May 1st section on June 6th, 7th. 6th, 7th. All right. On that note, he is Jeff King. I'm Andy Erickson. Thank you so much for listening. This is Not Another Shooting Show.